fantastic pitch.
So, that's Colin Murray talking to John Carver. But who are they talking about? We'll give you the next clue before 8 o'clock. 85058. Kick off at bbc.co.uk at 5 Live Sport on social media. Go on.
Fletcher, you better get it because I know it.
No, you don't. You can't know it from. You know it.
I'm joking. I'm winding him up, Fletcher. I know it's bite on it. I'm winding him up.
He has bitten on it. He's gone straight in. Right. Let's get into this FA Cup final. We're going to talk up until 8 o'clock on the big game tomorrow. Huge double-header for you on 5 Live, by the way, tomorrow. 12:30, the conclusion of the Scottish Premiership. Will it be Hearts or Celtic who are crowned champions? We'll talk about that later, but we're going to focus on the FA Cup final for now. Coventry of Man City against Chelsea, live from Wembley at 3 o'clock. Chelsea still managerless. Here's the interim manager, Callum McFarlane.
Yeah, there's a lot of names linked with the job. It's not really my place to say who's going to get it, who should get it, who's a good manager, who's not a good manager. My job is to prepare the team for Saturday, and that's all I'll be focusing on. I can't tell you exactly how I'm going to feel on the day.
Focus on the FA Cup final for now. Coventry of Man City against Chelsea, live from Wembley at 3 o'clock. Chelsea still managerless. Here's the interim manager, Callum McFarlane.
Yeah, there's a lot of names linked with the job. It's not really my place to say who's going to get it, who should get it, who's a good manager, who's not a good manager. My job is to prepare the team for Saturday, and that's all I'll be focusing on. I can't tell you exactly how I'm going to feel on the day. Trying to make it as normal as possible. I've taken a few games now at this level. Not a game of this magnitude, of course, a cup final, but I'll try and stay as level as possible. The players, the process, the way we work will be the same. So yeah, I'm sure I feel a lot of emotions on that day. Our recent form in the league has been way below the standard we'd expect and that we'd showed previously. It's an FA Cup final, so we want to win it. It's a massive competition, prestigious. This club's got history in that competition as well, winning it 8 times. So yeah, our focus is on that, performing as well as we can against the top side. I'm confident that we'll get hopefully a similar level of performance we got at Liverpool. I thought we ticked a lot of boxes in that game in terms of what we want from this team and how we get the best version of that. So confident that we can get that again. We just know that we have to be the best version of ourselves. They're an exceptional side with an exceptional coach and exceptional players, so they're going to be a challenge, but we also have some really good players, and these players have shown that if they're at their best, they can beat anyone.
Jags, it would be so in keeping with the FA Cup if Callum McFarlane as a caretaker beats Manchester City and Pep Guardiola in a final. If any competition can throw up that scenario, it's this one.
Yeah, definitely. I think, and beating Man City again, what have they been on probably the wrong side of what the Wigan, Palace, and obviously this one. So this is the hat-trick they don't want. Is basically the under-21s manager come in taking the Chelsea team. Obviously the Chelsea teams were still worth a hell of a lot of money, but if we're talking managers, there's a bit of a difference between obviously Chelsea and Man City this weekend, so it could be the upset of all upsets.
Glenn, is this about those players in the Chelsea dressing room tomorrow? Because we can't expect miracles from Callum McFarlane. He's in there to try and steer the ship through the choppy waters until they decide he's going to be the manager at the end of the season. Have the players in this Chelsea dressing room got to look at themselves? The only 2 wins they've had in recent memory are in the FA Cup against Leeds and Port Vale. The rest of the time they can't buy a win. Is it all about them and what they can do tomorrow to try and play like we expect a Chelsea team to play in an FA Cup final?
Yeah, listen, I don't think there's any question about their talent, is there? But I suppose you can question them turning it on and off as they wish for whoever they're playing for. But tomorrow they're playing for themselves. They're in an FA Cup final. They will want to leave with silverware as a group, collectively, before a lot of them head off on World Cup duty. So yeah, I expect Chelsea to turn up, but I just think the narrative is written as far as City are concerned and Pep Guardiola.
What do they have to do tomorrow, Clinton, and what can they do to beat Manchester City?
Well, it's going to be difficult, but as he said, they need to play their best football. If they don't turn up and play their best football and get their best players like the likes of Cole Palmer, João Pedro into the game, then they've got no chance, because I can only see one winner anyway. Even if Chelsea play their best game and if City play theirs, I can only see Man City. But it's been proven before that obviously Chelsea can turn up, obviously, in games like this and cause City problems. But yeah, I can only see one winner, Fletcher. I think it's going to be difficult for Chelsea. It's been an up and down season for Chelsea, nowhere near good enough. They need a new manager in there as soon as possible. The one thing they have got positive is Reece James will be back, and I think he's crucial to Chelsea. It just depends where he plays him. If he plays him in midfield or at right back. But I have a sneaky feeling that he's going to play Reece James in midfield tomorrow. So it'll be a good battle in that midfield. But I think Man City are going to be too strong for them.
I thought he was outstanding, Clinton, last week at Liverpool when he came on and played central midfield. He was arguably the best midfield player on the pitch
Flex,
when he was there.
Let me tell you something, and people have laughed before, he's so top drawing in midfield, and I know England have Elliot Anderson and stuff like that in there, but there could be I'm not saying he will do that because there's other midfielders, but every time in the World Cup, if he has another alternative right back, he could play Reece James in there, because I think Reece James is a fantastic footballer. He's got everything, Fletch, to be able to play that midfield role. I know his best position is right back, but I've said it from early on in the season when I seen him play in that midfield. He just looked so comfortable.
Yeah, so Reece James is going to be available. Callum McFarlane confirmed that. He's also hoping that Pedro Neto, Alejandro Garnacho and the goalkeeper Robert Sanchez can play as well. Thoughts, Glenn, on Chelsea and the way they approach this game tomorrow? How do you think they're going to go about it? Because they know they're not going to see a great deal of the ball and they know that they're big underdogs. I mean, some people have even said to me this week, if Chelsea beat City, it will be a shock based on how bad Chelsea have been in recent weeks, even though you're taking into consideration the size of the club. So how do you think they're going to approach it? What do you think Callum McFarlane's going to do to set them up to get them out there to try and beat City?
Yeah, listen, that's a really short-term view, isn't it, of Chelsea? Because there has been times at this year where they have performed. Yeah, granted, they're small sample sizes and they won the Club World Cup, do you know what I mean? So they can go toe-to-toe with top talent. And I honestly think it's about the players and about their mentality. And they're, like I say, they're top players and I expect them to come to the party tomorrow. I suppose the biggest question is if they start well and they're united, for want of a better word, if City go ahead or if City just kind of turn it up a notch and keep the ball, will those relationships and those frustrations start boiling through and then will they capitulate from that point kind of thing after not being such a, I suppose, together group?
Yeah, history will tell you, Jags, recent history, that they're going to concede at least one goal. I mean, they concede goals hand over fist, don't they, at the moment? Colwell's back and played against Liverpool last week. It'd be interesting to see whether he starts the cup final tomorrow. But they're giving teams a goal start more often than not. This is the worst team potentially in the league to give a goal start to in a major final in Manchester City.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you anymore. If they give City a 1-0 lead, as Glenn says, probably the biggest test and the thing that's been put at Chelsea's door this year is their character and their temperament. It's a tough task. 0-0, 1-0 down will be really, really tough. And I'm not 100% sure that the Chelsea squad have got it at this moment in time. We spoke probably for the last year or so about having a bit more experience because we all know when football's going well, it's easy, everyone loves it. It's those characters you find out when footy isn't going so well and who's there to sort of roll the sleeves up. So I say Chelsea can go, they perform. They've had little clippets throughout the season where they've been unplayable. As Glenn says, like not very often, but if they turn up, it's Wembley, they're playing for themselves, they're playing for a trophy. There's a very good chance they can go and as you said, do an upset, which seems quite strange when you look at the size of club that Chelsea are to call them obviously underdogs and it'll be an upset.
Yeah, we'll hear from Pep Guardiola shortly. Just the last one on Chelsea, Glenn. What about the mindset of the group? Because they can't have any confidence. I mean, they've just not been winning games. They must be feeling pretty low headed into a final. Can you solve that? Does an FA Cup final in a big game like this mean that that's not so much of an issue, or is there going to be a real mental problem for Chelsea tomorrow based on the fact they've got no confidence to take into a game against a team like this?
No, I think when you get a look at the group, they're world stars. A lot of them are used to winning things and want to win things and want to compete at this level. So it's a chance for them to be noticed. Listen, what their motivations for that is, I don't know. Some of them might want out of this project after seeing what's gone on, after seeing kind of the managerial merry-go-round, I suppose, especially like people like Enzo and things and Cucurella, they've mentioned in press conferences, haven't they? A desire to live in different places, not sign for different clubs, just live in different places. So yeah, it's a chance for them to put their names on the map, isn't it? And win a competition, and also World Cup right on the horizon as well. They'll want to go there in hot form, on a personal level.
Yeah, if the Man of the Match award was first class tickets to Madrid, I know would win the Man of the Match award tomorrow.
Oh, so do I. Boss it, wouldn't he?
Yeah. I know what that would be.
box to box, scoring goals, doing everything, Fletch.
Yeah. Let's have a look at this from a Manchester City perspective then. Pep Guardiola takes his side to Wembley for a record 24th time.
I'm so disappointed English football that don't make a stand to Pep. You know that. So many times I've been there, at least a lounge or a box or something like that. So maybe I'll go 24 more times. I've been in a special place, definitely. Since Barcelona 92, when we won the first Champions League with my club, and you know, and after with United, the second time Barcelona as a manager, and many times since I'm here. You know, we give in there semi-finals, finals, win, lose, win. So, yeah, it's really good. Go to Wembley again, the 3 p.m., FA Cup, the 2 teams with the 2 managers. And I don't know who organized it, Premier League or FA, Federation, I don't know. So it's really, really good. Good game, top. Everything is so nice. So the pitch is extraordinary and desperate to perform well. Hopefully we can do better than the last 2 times. The message is how we have to move, run, play against Chelsea to beat them.
There have been reports this week about some of your coaching staff leaving at the end of the season. Lorenzo, who you've worked with, feels like forever. Man City fans are wondering, does this mean anything for your future? Can you give them good news today?
No, I extend the contract all of them 3 more years. No.
So that's Pep Guardiola. Jovial mood before the FA Cup final. I've got news for him, Glenn. If he wants to stand at Wembley, named after him, his next job needs to be the England job. He needs to win a World Cup, and then he gets it. But they're not naming a stand after him for 24 appearances with Manchester City, unfortunately. But he did also say, Jags, they could at least name a room or a lounge after me. That would be great. But it was great to hear him in such great mood and great spirits heading into this big game.
Yeah, he seems relaxed. He often does that when he knows he's going to get asked questions about his future. He makes everything a big joke, so he's quite clever in that respect. Wembley's like a second home for him at the moment, so I'm sure he'll be feeling really confident. He won't take anything for granted. That's not the way he does things. I'm sure he's got plenty of plans for the game, but he'll be looking forward to it.
Is it the last time we're going to see him lead City out at Wembley, Glenn? Is this it?
Yeah, reluctantly, I think it might be. After what I've seen on social media this week, it would allude towards that, wasn't it? I think it was like a photo shoot with him with all the trophies, wasn't it? I actually didn't realise how rich his history was at Wembley, even without City. I didn't realise in '92 that final was there. So yeah, obviously it must be a super special place for him. And yeah, do you know what? I had no questions that he would leave the job if he won the Premier League. I thought maybe that might drag him back in, because ultimately if he wins 2 trophies, even though it's amazing for most of the football clubs, it's probably not what he would have wanted to leave the shores with. But who knows? It'll be sad to see the end of him if he does leave, put it that way, just from a football perspective of the country, I think.
Do you know what, Clinton? I think I'm right in saying that he's only been beaten 6 times in the FA Cup as the 7 times rather. 7 times as the Manchester City manager in the FA Cup. 6 of those defeats have been at Wembley in finals or semi-finals. The only time he's lost a match outside of Wembley in the FA Cup was against Wigan in 2018. He's taken them to a 4th successive FA Cup final, which has never been done before. That's unique. I mean, he's got such a great relationship with this competition, hasn't he? I mean, he's Manchester City under Pep Guardiola in the FA Cup, they've been outstanding.
No, they've been brilliant. I think he's been brilliant in all of the cup competitions in England. He always, 9 times out of 10, they always play kind of a strong team in all the kind of rounds. And I know their squad's big enough to do that, but he always does that. Pep Guardiola, he takes all the cup competitions serious. It's like Wembley is their second home. All the Man City fans are always travelling down to London, and he's been outstanding. I echo all the words what Jackson must have said as well. But yeah, Pep's a special manager. But I think
welcome to our audio commentary coverage. This broadcast is not an official product. I don't want him to leave because I don't think the Premier League will be the same without
Pep Guardiola. He's one of the best managers to ever do it.
Lindelof alongside him in the holding midfield positions. Up in front of those guys, though, goals aplenty. Buendia, Morgan Rogers, McKinn alongside Watkins up top. Plenty to call on the bench as well. Tammy Abraham, Leon Bailey, Ross Barkley, Douglas Luiz, Alex Garcia, Ian Madsen, Jadon Sancho. These are on the bench as well, so they are looking a lot stronger. Depth as well as on the pitch, a bit more regular in terms of their shape and in terms of their personnel. Liverpool pretty much strapping the team together. However, this fixture does fare very, very well in recent history in Liverpool's favour. 2 times Aston Villa have beaten them in the last 7 years, I think it is. Back in 17th of December 2019 is a mammoth 5-0 win here for Aston Villa, and the only other win since then was against Liverpool in 2020, and it was 7-2 for Aston Villa. So they do score plenty of goals when they do win, so maybe we'll see that today. Liverpool, however, the more triumphant team over the course of the year, so in that space of time there's been 7 wins in Liverpool's favour and a couple of draws thrown in there too. So it could go either way. Aston Villa, the team more in form. Obviously the team that have a lot more to play for this season other than just Champions League qualification, and they do have a regular goal scorer in the shape of Ollie Watkins up top, but Liverpool have history on their side. The recent form though, Aston Villa are not looking too pretty. So in the Premier League they have not won since 19th of April, which was against Sunderland, a very close encounter, 4-3. Prior to that, it was even further back. It was all the way back in March, 22nd of March, when they beat West Ham here at Villa Park, and resounding 2-0. Prior to that, they've lost against Spurs, they've drawn against Burnley, they've drawn against Fulham. It's not been all sunshine and rainbows for Aston Villa as they try and capitalise upon a very monumental season they've had so far. Liverpool, however, absolute mixed bag. Last few games, so they've drawn against Chelsea, beat Palace, beat Everton, and prior to that they had lost against Man City and Brighton. Man City in the cup though, to be fair, but that was a resounding 4-0 smashing, which it took a bit of a wake-up call for them to recover from that one. That was sandwiched between a couple of defeats by Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League. Stage is set. The referee is ready.
If you pay for Wi-Fi every month, you need to hear this. That's your unused internet just sitting there.
Szoboszlai in particular, wearing white there, playing from right to left. And the sun is shining. It's a nice evening sunshine.
Aston Villa, of course, have got another avenue into the Champions League. They can win the Europa League, of course, in that final against Freiburg, which isn't too far away. I'm sure they'll be focusing a lot of attention on that game. Despite that, it's still a strong side by Villa's standards. I'll just go through the lineups for you right quickly. Aston Villa making 3 changes from their 2-2 draw against Burnley. So it's Martinez in goal, back four of Cash, Concert, Torres and Digne. Tielemans alongside Lindelof, who keeps his place in the midfield from that game. John McGinn on the right, as you usually expect to see him. Buendia out on the left, Rodgers through the centre, and he's just behind just behind Ollie Watkins. Could be an attack now as well for Villa. Early doors, it's Rodgers who's sprinting forward, and Watkins is making the run on the outside. Rodgers turns inside, Watkins with the shot as well towards the near post. Mamardashvili down to his right. We've got the first shot on target of the game. It's only taken 90 seconds for it to happen. It's myself, Joshua Makin, alongside me is Dale Rosso, taking you through this one. And Dale, Aston Villa getting a positive start.
Yeah, Aston Villa with a very good start. It all started with the mistake from Gravenberch in midfield, and then Ollie Watkins on the 10 with a quick shot on target. Mamardashvili being tested early on, of course, back into the squad after injury.
Yeah, I was just about to run you through the Liverpool lineups as well. They've made just a single change from there. 1-1 draw against Chelsea at Anfield last time out. Mamardashvili, of course, is the goalkeeper. They've got a back four of Gomez, Kanate, Van Dijk and Kirkiash. McAllister and Gravenberch in the midfield. It's then Szoboszlai, Jones and Engamoa who are in behind Gakpo, who's the starting striker. But Dale, I was looking at this game as well, coming into it. It's a big game, of course, in terms of league position, in Champions League football. Both sides not in the greatest run of form in all things considered in the Premier League. So who do we see it going to?
Well, I think, exactly as you said, it couldn't be more split on paper. I think both teams are obviously not the strongest going into this game, and both teams have almost a makeshift starting 11, if you will, but I think you slightly edge it to Liverpool just because of their track record. Aston Villa actually failing to beat Liverpool since their 7-2 win in 2020.
Yeah, crazy game as well, wasn't it? Back in the lockdown period, Aston Villa, since that time, of course, they've not won any of their 15 Premier League games. Just one of the 6, if I can get my words right, just won one of their last 16 against Liverpool in the Premier League. Zengamoa out is dispossessed. He wants a foul, he's not going to get it. McGinn swings across into the box. Canate, though, knows there's no one behind him, and Elisa let that go behind for a goal kick. 3 minutes in, it's still goalless at Villa Park, but Unai Emery clearly happy with the start that his side have made. He's applauding their efforts early on, and Liverpool just need to sort of establish a foothold.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think Aston Villa have clearly started this game, and they want it to be a physical contest. There's been 1 or 2 occasions where they've gone in strong on a shoulder-to-shoulder challenge. The first one on Gravenberch, of course, he lost the ball, and it led to the shot from Ollie Watkins. And that one there on Rio Engamoa, of course, he's younger, so maybe doesn't have that physicality to hold off the ball, but it certainly seems like Aston Villa want to impose themselves physically in this game.
Yeah, certainly an exciting player, though, isn't he, Engamoa? And he's got away there from Matty Cash. He drifts inside towards Curtis Jones. He's playing a little bit deeper maybe than initially thought. I'm sure that forward line will sort of exchange positions as the match goes on. Van Dijk now stepping forward as Liverpool look to mount their first real attack of the match. McAllister for Engamoa. Now back towards Kirkesh, crossing the centre for Gravenberch. 4 minutes gone, goalless at Villa Park. This, of course, being the only game taking place tonight in the Premier League. There is also some League 2 playoff action. Salford are currently 0-0 at half-time in their game against Grimsby. Salford did win the first leg 2-1 though, so they've still got the lead on aggregate. Things have just got underway as well between Notts County and Chesterfield. A 1-0 win for Notts County in the first leg of that one. Both games are available on our service, and we'll keep you up to date with the scores as they go in. As Cash brings the ball down now for Aston Villa. A lively start for the home team. It's seen Ollie Watkins having an attempt in the early stages. He's in fine form again at the moment, is Ollie Watkins, at the perfect time as well for Aston Villa. Also himself a good shout of getting to the World Cup. 12 and 13 for the Villa striker is Digne now, hooking the ball in the box. Watkins there at the near post, too strong though is Van Dijk, shrugs him away for it. McAllister's now going to bring the ball out of play. Shot past to Engamoa, turns nicely away from Cash, almost makes way down the wing. Lovely touch inside, has been fouled there by Emiliano Buendia. He has, he's not happy about it, is the Argentine, but Engamoa already looking lively.
Yeah, he really is. I think obviously he's young and he's exciting. Every time he wants to get on the ball, he wants to take a man on, almost take 2 or 3 on and embarrass his opponents, but on this occasion just making a nuisance of himself and winning the free kick.
Yeah, conditions absolutely perfect, by the way, in Birmingham this evening. Pitch looking immaculate, the sun shining on many portions of the stadium. Hopefully it reflects and we get a fantastic game. It's been a lively start though. I've already seen a decent shot on target. Mamardashvili making the save. Liverpool just settled a little bit ever since that moment though. And now they're looking for more of an attack as Gomez finds a pass out wide towards Jones, who's popping up all over the place at the moment. He was in the centre, now he's moved out towards the right position. Almost seems to be playing as a right back with Gomez a bit more inside. But here's Engamoa now. He's looking to release Kirkes, who's gone away down the left. Can he get a good ball into the box towards the back post? Digne comes across to get the clearance. Cash will let it go behind him. He's not able to keep it in play though. It's going to be a Liverpool throw-in. Better from the away side. Exactly the position you want to see Milos Kirkes in. It's a dangerous ball into the box. No one attacking it though for Liverpool. Of course, Cody Gakpo is the furthest man forward, and there's been doubt really about his ability to lead the line for Liverpool. Here's Van Dijk now. Liverpool choose to reset this time and go all the way back to the halfway line. It's Canate looking for the pass forward. It's pretty slow though at the moment for the Reds. A few passes being exchanged there between Van Dijk and Canate. Eventually now with Kirkes. A decent moment not too long ago. Nice pass inside from Van Dijk, and they can get through now. Another pass through the lines finds Szoboszlai out towards Jones, who just about keeps it in by the corner flag. Now moves up towards the edge of the box. Reverse pass to Szoboszlai, who stays on side for now. Chips it into the area. Villa should get it clear at the second time of asking. It's Lindelof who eventually gets it out of the box. Flag didn't go up there that Aston Villa were expecting. Liverpool attack again. It's chipped over, looking for the run of Gakpo. He might have made his run too early anyway. Put the ball over his head.
Yeah, and it's a good run there from Gakpo. Obviously trying to catch that back line off guard, and McAllister saw the run, which is what you want to see from your number 10. I think just rewinding a little bit back to that ball into the box from Szoboszlai. While it looks positive, I think he has to pick a man out there as opposed to just putting a percentage ball in, which is what he did. Because in the end, he ended up just giving the ball back to Aston Villa, and realistically, he did have the time to try and find a man, but Aston Villa come forward.
Yeah, they certainly do. It's Watkins, few step overs past Van Dijk. Watkins, he slips over as he gets the shot off. The out of position, he thrives in there. He's picked up an injury as a result of it. This is bad news for Aston Villa. Their star man is unable to continue. It's great play from Eric Buendia, and outside of the foot pass, and it's too easy there for Watkins. Just steps inside of Van Dijk. Can't quite keep composed though. Van Dijk puts an arm onto him, and again, Ollie Watkins can't find the net.
No, but he's done so well there to get past Virgil van Dijk. I mean, it was such almost a legend how long Virgil van Dijk went without getting dribbled past, and within the first 8 minutes, Ollie Watkins has done it just there. So, I mean, yes, he's picked up the injury, and maybe looks like he might have twisted something on his hip area. Maybe just overextended on the follow through from his shot. Unai Emery does not look best pleased, and why would you be? Ollie Watkins loves this fixture. 6 goals in his last 13 appearances against Liverpool, and let alone that fact, he's also obviously Aston Villa's main man up top.
Yeah, he certainly is. He looks in some real discomfort though now. The 2 physios are on the pitch trying to help him on the mend. Penny for Unai Emery's thoughts though at the moment. He looks very frustrated there on the touchline. Star striker being injured at this time of the season as well, when there's such a big game coming up in the history of Aston Villa. Of course, that European final we already mentioned against Freiburg. They need everyone fit. They're already struggling a bit with injuries at the moment. Likes of Amadou Onana is out, and that's why they're playing Lindelof in the midfield. They've got Tammy Abraham available on the bench, who can come on as a like-for-like swap. He's done decent at times when he has played this season. It's a bit more encouraging though for Villa. Watkins is now back up to his feet, trying to just stretch it out as well. It's always worrying, isn't it, when you sort of see those injuries. There's no contact from Virgil van Dijk. It's not an impact injury. He's just sort of hit that really awkwardly.
Yeah, he really has. I mean, he certainly got the hand off from Virgil van Dijk, but I don't think it's got nearly enough force behind it to actually send him to the ground. It's more the fact that he's almost... Obviously, he's on his right side and he's shooting across his body, and then his follow-through has kind of stayed in that position as he then went to ground and essentially just contorted his entire hip. So it did look very, very sore, especially on the landing. But he's back up on his feet. He's just waiting on the touchline now, obviously having a couple of words with the physio, and looks like he could continue. Yeah,
game back underway though. Ball played forward for Gakpo. Flag hasn't gone up just yet as he holds it off from Torres. Eventually the flag does go up. The linesman just delaying it a little bit there. Makes the point that he had to wait before giving it as offside. We've passed 10 minutes at Villa Park. It's still goalless between Aston Villa and Liverpool. Ollie Watkins still hasn't entered the field again just yet. So maybe getting some final sort of warm-up from the physio. This camera's focusing on Joe Gomez. Mo Salah as well on the bench this evening for Liverpool. Game back underway as Watkins tries to run down the line. Mamardashvili's been caught out there. Rodgers has stolen it off him. Mamardashvili way out of his line. Rodgers with the ball into the box. Kanate heads it away from the oncoming Watkins. Picked up by McGinn now on the edge of the area. Can they make the most of that? McGinn steps inside of Ngamo. He's still going now up towards the byline. Ball comes in to the back post. No one's attacking it. Jones should get this one clear. Dinier's going to try and pen him in. Back heel towards Gomez. He's sort of lost the ball there, and he's fouled Buendia. He just nipped in front of him there, Joe Gomez, and that's so needless from Liverpool. No idea what Mamardashvili is doing. He comes flying off his line. He loses the ball. And now Aston Villa have got a set piece in a dangerous position. Yeah, and credit to Emi Buendia there just to get across his man, Joe Gomez, and win the foul, because if he didn't do that, it was a waste of a good opportunity. And, I mean, Mamardashvili should buy a lottery ticket because he's so lucky there to not be punished for that mistake. It's so needless for him to come out the way he does and then to miscontrol the ball like that. It's certainly not what you want to see if you're any of those defenders. But for now, they'll have to defend this free kick, but so needless from Mamardashvili. Yeah, it really was, and Liverpool haven't been punished for it just yet. As we mentioned, though, there is a set piece now. It's Yuri Tielemans who's going to deliver it. I'm not sure if he's thinking about eyeing up the shot here. He's fairly close to the byline, but if you can sneak it in at the tight angle, might be an option. Up goes the arm from the Belgian midfielder. He lays it off towards Digne, in fact. Now it's towards Cash, who strikes from the edge of the box. It's blocked by Gomez. Set piece doesn't quite come to fruition in the end for Aston Villa. No, it certainly doesn't. But you could see that the plan was to lay it off to Cash there, and obviously for the Polish international to pop a shot. But his first touch was so poor, it sent him so far wide of where he wanted to shoot from that in the end it was too late, and the Liverpool players charged it down. Here come Liverpool now down the other end. Curtis Jones had just slipped in the midfield there, but somehow managed to keep hold of the ball. He's now trying to thread it through. It's towards Gakpo, who slipped. So there's been a few of those already so far. Not sure if the pitch is just a little bit wet, but a few players slipping on the surface at the moment. It still looks in fantastic condition though, of course, towards the end of the season. This is Villa's last home league game of the Premier League season. They've not lost their last home game in any of the 6 seasons since their return to the Premier League back in 2019. They usually get a good send-off at Villa Park, and that'll be crucial as well with what's coming in midweek, that European final again, which I'll allude to. As Cash now sprints forward up towards the halfway line. Engamoa though covers his tracks nicely, so it's back towards Ezri Concert. 13 minutes gone, still goals, but it's the feeling that Aston Villa definitely the better side so far in this one. Can they compound that with a goal as well? As Tielemans finds McGinn now, he's got Cash in space over on the right hand side. Cash just closed down there by Engamoa and Kirkes, so back to Lindelof now. Tielemans trying to slip the ball through down the right side. A bit of miscommunication again from Liverpool. I think Virgil van Dijk thinks his goalkeeper is coming out for that, when in the end he realises that he's not, and it's out for a throw-in, and Liverpool just haven't settled.
No, they certainly haven't, and again, there's a clear miscommunication between Mamardashvili and his back line. Of course, Virgil van Dijk then thinking that he would come out, and Virgil van Dijk for so long has played with Alisson behind him. I think Alisson would have come out there, and then obviously this season played with 3 different goalkeepers, so it's expected for there to be a bit of miscommunication, but for it to be as drastic as it is not a good sign for Liverpool.
Yeah, they don't trust Mamardashvili, do they? That back line, it's not really had the time to build up that sort of chemistry with each other. Liverpool again are playing dangerously. They've lost it out to Morgan Rogers. McAllister does well to recover and win it back. He's going to try and bring it forward now. Lays it off for Gravenberch. It's a wayward pass which just about finds the Dutchman. Engamoa now up against Cash. Excited to see how that battle develops through the course of the evening. This time it's Villa who win the better of it, you think, but then Engamoa is still going. He's totally impeded there. He's first impeded by McGinn, then Rogers tugs him back as well. It's going to be a free kick well inside the half for Liverpool, but Engamoa again looking really good so far. Definitely Liverpool's most exciting player going forward at the moment. They're trying to find him with every single pass, and it's to be expected as well. Van Dijk now bringing it up towards the halfway line. Need to get some sort of rhythm going in the game. Just looking at the stats, I mean, they've not even had a shot yet. 15 minutes in, Aston Villa have had 3 shots. Liverpool have only had 1 touch inside the opposition box. They have had the most possession with 55% of the ball, but they've barely done anything with it compared to Aston Villa. They've already tested Mamardashvili and forced him into a mistake. I haven't even mentioned Emi Martinez yet in the Aston Villa goal. That's not going to change now as Tielemans has it for Aston Villa. Lindelof on the halfway line. Looks steady so far in the centre of the park. Now for Cash, now back towards Ezri Concert. Aston Villa's number 4. Emi Martinez will finally get a touch as the England defender goes back to him. Bringing it up towards the edge of the area. It goes long this time for Aston Villa. Has that worked out as well? It's looking over the top for Martinez. Van Dijk with a header down, which Kanate just about mops up. However, his pass into the centre is mopped up by Tielemans. It's now McGinn. Cash arriving on the overlap, but McGinn steps inside instead. Might have been the wrong choice initially, but eventually finds the Polish international. Kirk is out to cover him. Now back towards John McGinn. Liverpool just penned in and trying to stay as well organised as they can. Aston Villa are just toying with them at the moment. They're enjoying the possession that they're getting. It's now Lindelof again, Cash in space on the right hand side. Kirkes is having a job so far trying to mark him out. Eventually it's a poor delivery from Cash, and Liverpool can get away with it. It's Soboslai, he's been quiet so far and he's swarmed by a number of Villa players there. There were 4 in claret shirts around him. Not sure if a free kick has been given there, it hasn't, and Dominic Soboslai's got to be careful there with his reaction. Can see why he'd be frustrated though. He's barely had anything to her.
Yeah, 100%. And I think for Liverpool, it's consistent this season for Liverpool that when Szoboszlai plays out on that right hand side in midfield, that he doesn't get on the ball nearly as much, and for him to influence the game, it's almost like he has to grow into it. He needs multiple touches in the first half, and then by the second half he's completely controlling the game. But when he's not being touching the ball like that, Aston Villa have given away a foul in midfield, Victor Lindelof on Gravenberch. But when Szoboszlai is not touching the ball all too much, it almost feels cold, like he's just not warmed up and not able to play the way he wants to.
Yeah, Dale mentioned that Aston Villa just won a free kick there. Victor Lindelof went through his man in the centre of the park. No yellow card has been given. The referee for this evening is Chris Kavanagh leading with his cards. Liverpool can have a chance now. It's floated towards Engamoa. It's a good touch, but unfortunately for him, Matty Cash just about gets there and sweeps away the danger. Aston Villa are penned in though. They're on defensive third. Liverpool have finally got a decent press on. Great turn though from Ezri Concert on the edge of his own box. Gakpo was going across to press him, but it's a lovely touch from the England international, and he set Villa away as well as Torres now brings it forward. Nice ball through to Watkins, goes defensive with the pass to Tielemans. Good news for Villa fans is that Ollie Watkins seems to be moving fine now after picking up that injury earlier on in the half. Engamoa now for Liverpool, sets Kerkez down the left side, space for him to run into, but doesn't seem to trust it in the end. There's no confidence in this Liverpool attack. Can see that the space was right there for Kerkez to drive into, and he chose the defensive option, and just see this Liverpool team, they just don't really have that confidence to go and attack.
No, they certainly don't, and I think that's a prime example of it. Kerkez, as you said, so much space to run in towards Matty Cash, and even still he had Rio Engamoa right there as well. They could have easily doubled up on the Polish fullback, but instead keeping possession, playing it backwards. And in fairness to Kerkez, it didn't seem like anyone in the middle wanted to make a run.
No, he didn't have many options up ahead of him. Gakpo has been less than anonymous so far. He's been marked out of the game completely by both Torres and Concert. Nothing for him to go off. He's not working too hard as well. Can't really see him making the runs in behind. It's all very static for Liverpool. It might change now though, as Gravenberch has got the ball. Nice ball out towards Engamoa. Liverpool attacking with intent for the first time in the half. A few step overs, but needs the runs to be made up ahead of him. He's not got any options. He's trying to do it all himself. Surely John McGinn has kicked him over there. He hasn't. Engamoa can't believe it. He thinks he should have won a free kick there. Arne Slot agrees with him on the touchline, gives the fourth official a piece of his mind, but John McGinn apparently has got the ball fairly there.
Yeah, well, I can feel for the 17-year-old there. I think obviously he's tried to take him on himself, and obviously felt some contact from the Scotsman. It's a horror of a throw-in routine, if you will, from Aston Villa. They've thrown it in and kicked it straight back out, so it will go the way of Liverpool. But yeah, I think Rio Engamoa is as good as he is and on the ball and moving it around. He had to release it there. He had to play it back to Kerkez, and then obviously a pass and move to keep possession. Yeah,
those sort of moments which will come with experience, won't they, for Engamoa. Liverpool have got it back though. It's Gomez now on the edge of the box. He's going to line up the strike as well. It's over the bar. Joe Gomez doesn't score a goal in senior football. He wasn't too far away from doing it there, but ultimately always rising, and it's over the bar.
That's not a bad effort, and what a first goal it would have been for Joe Gomez in a Liverpool shirt. But yeah, it's realistically never going to test Emi Martinez. But I think the most damning fact about that shot is that it's Liverpool's first in this game.
Yeah, it is. It was sort of a half chance, not even a half chance really, just a pop from outside the area from their right back. He slipped over on it as well. Emi Martinez, you can always see that one was going over the bar. A bit better from Liverpool though in the last few minutes. Finally getting the ball over towards Engamoa, having a run at the full-backs as well. It's still not yielded any real chances thus far as they look for the low and throw in down the line, looking for Gakpo, snuffed out by Villa, but they've won it back of the Reds, and it's Gakpo laying it off towards Szoboszlai. There's not many runs being made up in front of him. Szoboszlai takes his time with it, but he's won the free kick there. Emi Buendia absolutely furious with Chris Kavanagh for that decision. Of course, Chris Kavanagh, well known at the moment for that West Ham vs Arsenal game. Another big game for him this evening. Szoboszlai looked like he'd just taken too long there to get his pass away from him. Ultimately, in the end, he has won his side a free kick. It's quite a decent range from the goal as well. It's going to be a crossing option from Szoboszlai. We know he can hit them from range, but this one would be quite extreme even for him. It's about 40 yards from goal, on the right side, so it's going to be the delivery, the sort of out-swinging ball from the Hungarian international. There's like Van Dijk and Konate have made the journey forward. Up goes the arm from Szoboszlai, delivers it into the air. There's good pace on it, but Torres heads it away, only as far as Jones now picks it up and takes it down. Now towards Kerkez. Szoboszlai again waiting on the right side. He's not going to go direct just yet. He moves it over towards the left for Curtis Jones. Engamoa to his left. He's found as well. Now wants to have a run at John McGinn. A good battle between him as well so far. In the centre now, McAllister. Szoboszlai a bit closer to goal. Chips it towards the back post. Van Dijk makes a run. He wins it. It might fall now for Cody Gakpo. It's bouncing around in the box. It just wouldn't fall in the end for a man in a Liverpool shirt, and Aston Villa just about scramble it away.
Yeah, just about getting it away. I think it was keen from Van Dijk to stay up the way he did. Of course, then won the header on the back post as it fell back out towards Szoboszlai, but in the end, no one could actually get that shot away. And I think that's the worst part for Liverpool, is that they're now starting to create these chances and still yet to have an actual shot on target.
Yeah, they certainly are. Just seeing the replay of it there. It's a good ball in from Szoboszlai. Exactly what Van Dijk thrives off of, attacking balls like that. Maybe a half shout at the time for a penalty. As Gakpo got himself in front there of Con, so it's tough to see through all the legs over whether that is a penalty. It's not going to be looked at by VAR. Pretty conclusive decision in the end.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, when the ball's on the ground and it's chaotic in that 6-yard box, limbs are everywhere. It's really hard to tell what's going on. But I think from a football fan perspective, you never want to see them given.
Yeah, it would have been real harsh there on Aston Villa. Conte plays it into the midfield now. There's space for them to attack if they can play it right. Buendia, heavy touch in the air, but brings it down eventually. Finds Rodgers over on the right-hand side. He's been really quiet so far in this game. Chance for him to attack now. Always wants to go the other way though. He's moved into the centre now. Good ball out towards the left for Digne. In fact, is it? No, it's too overhit in the end. The Frenchman is pretty quick, but he's not going to get on the end of that. Liverpool have a throw-in just by their own corner flag. With that, we have hit the halfway point of this first half at Villa Park. It's still goalless between these two sides. Ollie Watkins has probably had the two best chances so far, testing Mamardashvili and also sending one over the bar. But with that, it's Aston Villa 0, Liverpool 0, and it's going to be Dale to take us through to half-time.
Yeah, and the camera is currently focusing on Harvey Elliott, who's in the stands, of course. Unai Emery coming out and saying how embarrassing it was for both parties in that deal. Of course, he should return to Liverpool in the summer. As Rio Ngamoa, edge of the area, takes the strike, and it's curling, but it's always over the bar. Similar to Joe Gomez's effort minutes ago, he was never really going to test Emi Martinez. He obligatorily just puts two hands up to make sure it doesn't creep under the bar, but realistically never going to test the Argentine.
Yeah, positive play though, isn't it? Again, from the youngsters, by far the most confident player in attacking this Liverpool team at the moment from what we're seeing. The only player willing to drive at players and take those sort of efforts on. In the end, it is always rising. It's not too far away. It's closer than the effort Joe Gomez had not too long ago. But positive from Ngamo. It just doesn't result in the shot on target that he wants.
And Emi Martinez will take the goal kick straight up to the top for Ollie Watkins. There is a balloon on the pitch, and of course the referee will take care of that. You would assume anyway, as Mamardashvili has the ball in his hands. Well, the balloon is still in play as Liverpool play it around the back confidently, but also playing with fire in a sense, as Mamardashvili eventually forced to just clear that one out. I think he was looking for Alexis McAllister, but the number 10 never going to be tall enough to keep that one in. And so it will be a throw-in from Matty Cash. He then kicks the balloon off the pitch and plays a 1-2 between himself and Ezri Konsa. Cody Gakpo is coming to press, as well as Dominic Szoboszlai. Aston Villa, it's their turn to play it round the back. A pass inside finds Emi Buendia, and a fair challenge then from Curtis Jones wins the ball back for Liverpool in midfield. Szoboszlai, he tries to switch the play out to Ngamoa, but it almost stunts the progression for the moment. The 17-year-old cuts inside, finds Alexis McAllister. Back to Van Dijk. There's a lovely pass in behind to find Gravenberch. Lays it off once more to Ngamoa. Inside the penalty area now. Step overs, shifting left in towards the byline. Looking for an option inside. Forced to go backwards and instead finds Gravenberch with the strike. Deflects off of Emi Martinez and then finds the feet of Cody Gakpo, who put it in the back of the net, but it has been ruled offside almost instantaneously. But that does raise one of the red flags that most people bring up when talking about Emi Martinez, is that he does have mistakes like that in his locker.
Yeah, he does. I mean, for all the great saves, the camera saves that he makes, Emi Martinez, he does have that occasional howler in him. We've just seen the replay, it's clearly offside from Cody Gakpo. He didn't even really celebrate it. I mean, he's pretty poor from the striker. He's just sort of stood there. He doesn't move with the defensive line. He's onto the end of it. That's because he's so far offside in the first place. It's a warning that for Aston Villa, you cannot let those Liverpool players get time and space on the edge of the box like that. It's not the greatest effort from Gravenberch, but at least it's on target this time. It's an improvement gradually from Liverpool, and Martinez gets away with one.
Yes, Liverpool certainly growing in this game. Szoboszlai starting to press a bit more as well alongside Cody Gakpo. And again, playing with fire are Aston Villa, as a couple of short passes around the back until eventually Lindelof will play it back to Emi Martinez. But yes, Liverpool certainly looking to press a bit more. Cody Gakpo, of course, I think he has to start. Instantly the shot comes in, he has to start trying to get back on side, of course. I don't want to call it laziness. I think it's, of course, he's not a striker, so he's not used to being in those positions, but also on the wings, the way he plays, he's not the fastest of players, so he never has to keep himself from wandering offside. He just almost has to hope he has the space when played in behind. Aston Villa lose possession to the feet of Ibrahima Konate. He's never really one to have to track his runs and stay on side because he's never really fast enough to outpace the fullbacks. As Kerkez checks his run, cuts back inside and finds Alexis McAllister. Into the 28th minute now, still Aston Villa 0, Liverpool 0. Ollie Watkins certainly has had the best chances of the game. Of course, Liverpool had a goal ruled out for offside, but it was so clearly offside that you can't really count it as a worry for Aston Villa, except for the fact that it was a mistake, of course, from Emi Martinez. As Virgil van Dijk just brings the ball to a standstill, finds Curtis Jones, and Liverpool quite clearly rotating this midfield three. At times it's Curtis Jones in the 6 and Alexis McAllister at the top of it. Ryan Gravenberch in a right back position currently, which allows Joe Gomez to get forward. Rio Ngamoa did have the option to play Kerkez in behind there, instead decides to keep going himself. Still Ngamoa lays it off once more, finds Jones, dink ball over the top, looking for Gravenberch's run, but in the end it's well and truly overhit. And Rio Ngamoa quite clearly has some wonderful feet and some lovely dribbling when he's on the ball, but I think he still does have that naivety that he can do it all himself, and he doesn't really know when to play that pass.
Yeah, it's just raw, isn't it? Again, it's what I was alluding to earlier. That will come with experience. He'll learn to, when to release it and when to keep hold of it, when to try it all himself, and that's just going to come with experience. He's still so early on in his career, and to see him, playing like that is exactly what Arne Slot and those Liverpool fans want to see. Someone with confidence, and over time he will just have to mature. Liverpool have been better in the last sort of 10-15 minutes or so. They've got on top of this game after a really shaky start. It's still that final ball slightly lacking for them, still yet to really test Emi Martinez, but it has been a good response from the Reds.
Will be a throw-in opportunity from Joe Gomez. He does have a long throw in him as he fires it into the area. Konate wins the first header as it pops out towards Szoboszlai. Forced to play it backwards though are Liverpool. Back to Szoboszlai. He takes a strike on from a good 40 yards out, and it actually forces a difficult save for Emi Martinez. I think he was both caught off guard but also unsighted with all the players in front of him.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it wasn't him. We've seen the replay from behind though. There's quite a lot of space on the edge of the box. It does take a bit of a wicked swerve from Szoboszlai. Of all players on the pitch, really, I don't think there's a player you want more hitting them from that sort of range. He does catch it rather well. Szoboszlai swerves a lot. Martinez does see it and he does palm it away. He doesn't take the chance there with catching it, probably rightfully so as well. In Liverpool have got what I believe is their first corner of the match.
It's a right-footed outswinger from the right-hand side. A short pass actually finds Alexis McAllister, laid off once more. Szoboszlai puts it in towards the back post, clearly looking for Virgil van Dijk, but the header from Morgan Rogers will put it behind for a corner on the left-hand side. And well, I think all the Aston Villa players thought he was going to shoot again there.
Yeah, they definitely did. You've got to get out to Szoboszlai quicker than that. They've already had the first warning from Szoboszlai in this game just a few moments ago. Cannot let him get the time and space on the edge of the box because he's going to punish you at some point in the game. He's going across to take this corner now. A lot of pushing and shoving going on in and around Emi Martinez. Chris Kavanagh is probably going to have to step in there. Konsa pulls Van Dijk's shirt there for a moment. So they've got to be careful here, Aston Villa. Aston Villa, well, they're going to concede a penalty.
We'll be having flashbacks of the West Ham game, won't he? As Szoboszlai sets himself up to put this ball into the box. It will be a right-footed in-swinging corner this time, and it's into the area on the near post, and McAllister wins the header. Well, he puts it off target, and he seems more upset than I think he should be really there. It's a crowd of people. It's a clean header from Alexis McAllister, but it's always going to be difficult to get that one on target.
Yeah, it certainly is. That's poor, though, from an Aston Villa perspective. That is one of the smallest players on the pitch there in Alexis McAllister, and he's getting a header like that at the near post. He probably could do, but he could keep it down and head it towards that top corner. But it's tough there for the Argentine midfielder. There's so many bodies around him as well, trying to put him off. It's by no means an easy chance for him. And Liverpool just still starting to really turn the screw.
As Lindelof wins the ball back in midfield, only as long as Szoboszlai can then win it back for Liverpool. McAllister driving forward, tries to play a pass, takes a deflection off of an Aston Villa man and out for a throw-in on this left-hand side. So it's in line with the edge of the penalty area. And if that doesn't show a change in the tides, I don't know what does. In the last 15 minutes, Liverpool have had 5 shots to Villa's 0, 2 on target to Aston Villa's 0, and 9 touches in the opposition box. So again, Villa's 0, and of course 65% of the possession. So Aston Villa starting strong, but certainly not able to maintain it, as Liverpool have grown in this game. It will be a Joe Gomez long throw from this left-hand side, fired into the area, headers flicked on and then cleared away by Pau Torres. Kerkez will claim the loose ball, preventing Ollie Watkins from running free. All the way back to Mamadashvili. Long ball over the top as the header's won by Virgil van Dijk. Lays it off once more to Cody Gakpo, who's battled well for the ball and then won a free kick. And I have to feel for Emi Buendia there. It's not like he's left a leg out to challenge for the ball, but he certainly just stood in the way and impeded the Dutchman. Yeah, it's just a lazy challenge, isn't it, from Emi Buendia there. A striker's challenge from the forward. Just sort of sticks a leg out, hopefully, and he's never really going to win the ball in that situation. There's also a problem now for Youri Tielemans as well. He's just down on the deck, flat out on his back. He's been dragged to the floor again now. He's going to be okay to continue. Doesn't need any sort of treatment. In the meantime, though, there has been a goal in those League Two playoffs. Salford are now 3-1 up on aggregate. They're heading towards Wembley. Daddy Ludo has made it 1-0 on the night. 3-1 now to them on aggregate. So fantastic evening for them. Elsewhere, still goals in the game between Notts County and Chesterfield. Szoboszlai is standing over this free kick. It's a good 50 yards out, so no chance of a shot as he fires it in towards that back post again. But this time, easily dealt with by Aston Villa. And you have to question, is the predictability starting to creep in now defensively for Aston Villa? They've had 3 free kicks from that area, all 3 of them going towards that back post looking for the skipper. So it's relatively easy for Aston Villa to defend it. As McAllister on the halfway line finds his Hungarian teammate in Szoboszlai.